And we are back. Thank you all so much for your patience. We've got with us. Oh, I had a quick error. Let me fix that really quickly. We've got for ourselves uh, the second place participant, Squidman, who maybe
Hello, hello.
wasn't completely win-win, but definitely didn't end up in the bin. Congratulations on getting second place, Squidman.
hmm The second placement. I've been in this position many times for Baby Jelly.
Yeah.
I think this is my fourth one or something that I've gotten second in or something.
You keep going right at the end for all of these. And it's just one of these days you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
One of these days.
Um,
But every time the winner does play box seats with me, and that makes me happy.
so that's the first thing I wanted to bring up real quick for you, Squidman. You you really push box seats, despite it
I
being
mean, I'm still trying to figure out like what if there is actually a meta and if there is one, because it still feels like a coin flip for me.
so. I will say that what a lot of players who like do TBO, like Joven, Jack,
Mhm.
AJ, they'll play cards like Fry or a Boris on box
Oh yeah,
seats. As
definitely.
crazy as that sounds,
Because you just take the
um,
whole thing.
and you just take as much space as you can in the first turn. It's really weird, um, especially considering like how most people would play box seats is like kind of small because that's how you play your box seats deck with a lot of smaller cards, right?
Yeah, I have two bigger cards that help take at the beginning, but it's more medium and
Mm-hmm.
small. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's
first
how a lot
like
of.
official
Go ahead.
final before
Mhm.
losers where I lost the first time, we were playing X Marks the Garden and I misplaced my Ouroboros that I was specialing.
Oh
It was
no.
like,
Oh yeah, yes, I remember seeing that. Uh,
but alas, I did get an X
it's
Marks the Garden win.
yeah, that's the rough thing about just special points, just being able to see all that. Um, you came back, even though you weren't able to play box seats, you still came up in the grand finals, winning two games over Lucky, as opposed to the first time where you only won one. What'd you kind of do different? Did you have like a different plan going in? Um,
Well, the X Marks the Garden game, I didn't have to start with Ouroboros, which is so much harder for me to do. Um,
yeah,
What makes it
because
more difficult for you? Because
because
I've
I'm so used. I remember back in my day, we played box seats with only one dynamo and no Ouroboros.
mm,
So it's just like
back
what I'm
under.
used to seeing and thinking about, rather
Hmm.
than like, oh, I don't know where to like place all my cards.
Yeah,
And I
because
had
you have
been
the
seeing where Lecky played.
because you have the Dynamo Roller combo completely set up the Jet Squelcher, Tri Stringer, and Hero Shot, right?
Yes,
And then for
really nice.
Horus, do you actually have like a set plan for it?
Kind of. I actually haven't played table turf since the last Baby Jelly, and I was
Oh,
supposed to go in and see where I special with Ouroboros, and I did not. It's like,
yeah.
what do I base combo with Ouroboros? I forgore.
oof.
It's it's definitely an interesting card, especially with how many like gaps you have between the
Yeah.
special block and the starting block. It's very very strange to play around. Um, even I've got to do like experimentation with how it works. So
But it's big and it's messy for your opponent, which is what I like.
it is. I will say, um, just so you are aware, so Dynamo completely walls off the top of the base, right?
Right. Both do.
Ouroboros does actually have a spot on the left side. If you play it with like the special point putting down, there's a diagonal gap on the left side that you are weak to. So you have to
Right.
be aware of that as well. Honestly, it's a much harder card to play than Dynamo there.
Indeed. But I did lose. There was one game where I just got unlucky, but there were also some
Yeah.
that had better decks and placed better. The last time we played on Thunder, I was debating whether to place a card like left or like in the middle, and when I didn't place it left, he just took the map, and I'm like, well, I lose.
Yeah.
So
That's how Thunder Point is sometimes. It's a very aggressive map that you can play on. So
yep. It
right.
was fun.
Yeah. Melantha, I believe you have one more question
I do. And,
for them.
I'll make sure everybody's fully aware that this is one that I like to ask, and will be asked at the end of every interview. I'm sorry that you're the one that's gonna have to be caught off guard by this.
Hey, I'm the guinea pig.
Give us a fun fact about your Splatoon OC.
Well, I've worn the same clothes since like Splatoon, and I held the Diamond Roller forever. And this, like 3 days ago, I was like, Snipe Rider. Everyone wants me to play Snipe Rider in chat. And I made a Snipe Rider gear, and it has a white turtleneck and like the suit coat and sandals. And so it looks like Professor Squidman. The other one can pass for Teacher Squidman, but this is definitely like, oh, I'm going to the office, getting ready to teach, and I have my red Snipe Rider to grade your papers with.
That's adorable. I love it.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, congratulations again on second place, Squidman. And best of luck in future brackets. You'll get one of them one of these days.
One day! But in the meantime, we'll still have more Tableturf. No dying, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. All right.
Coming up next, we've got somebody who you could say was maybe a little fortunate in their victory, getting up to here. Lucky, congratulations on taking first place in this Baby Jelly Cup.
Thank you.
How's it feel?
So
I was for like a good amount of the winners bracket and also like the entirety of that last set, but I'm still shaking from like stress and excitement. I cannot believe this. It's like, I don't know. It was that draw actually like shook me up so bad. I thought I was going to pick the wrong deck while I was doing that.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the thing about draws. You play the same deck on the same map. You know what your opponent has. They know what deck you have and what cards you have. And so I guess obviously, as you said, it does a lot like to your mentality of how you're going to play the game, right?
It does. At least the second time around, I was prepared for getting my base combo ruined, which did happen a second time.
Yeah. You did your best to preserve it, but even still, you're able to. You tried. Sometimes your cards just don't show up, and you just got to roll with it.
I'm pretty sure the second time around, Big Man showed up the turn after I wasn't able to play him.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yep, that's Tableturf for you.
That is Tableturf.
He's just like, hey,
so,
I'm here. And then you're like, Big Man, you're late. He's like, hey, sorry.
You're a bit too late. It's already passed.
At least he makes a good card to pass with.
Yeah. going on what was it? The first game that you had was River Drift. Yes,
Yes.
in the grand finals.
Right.
So that how I guess I'm kind of just going to go through each of the games that we saw because like all of them were just completely different and just kind of almost lopsided each. So like the first River Drift match,
That one
how
was
was
heavily
that?
in my favor. I was able to get my my best opening card, Ouroboros. So I played that in the way that I have a few base combos for that, and I was using one of them because I also had, I think it's Marie for that. So I think I had both of those cards in my starting hand. So I already had that combo, and then I was able to shut off entrance to my side of the map with, I think it was one of the heavies, and so I was pretty safe to do all of my combo stuff below hand, but I did make sure to pierce through into their side of the map because that's like the biggest thing to me on Thunderpoint is, or no, it was River Drift. The biggest thing on River Drift to me is to get all up in their face to make sure I have a special block or two in their base, ready to special in the last few turns. That way I can both mess up their base combos, and if they still do a base combo, I can just shred it with a special in the last 2 turns.
And that actually kind of leads me into the next match, which was Square Squared, where was kind of the exact opposite of that.
Yeah. That one I got cut off very early, which led to me having to special early in order to get out. And I was just not having a lot of luck in terms of card draws. If you remember, I put Little Judd down, I think the second to last turn, because I just hadn't drawn him earlier, and there was just that spot waiting there the entire match. Thankfully, Squidman didn't fill it, so I was able to do that, but it was too far gone by that point.
Yeah. The next match, I'm having to look back through the logs to figure out which one it was the
Main Street, I believe.
Yes. Okay. That Main Street match where you passed the dynamo roller.
Yes.
Was that just like a misclick? Or was it just...
I wasn't able to play that. Or no, I was able to play it, but I was banking on a base combo, which I ended up messing up anyway. So I don't know how I won that game.
Yeah, it was incredible to just pass that early on and still be able to come back and win.
I know. I have a very specific combo for that involving Big Man, DJ Octavio, and a few other cards that go alongside them. I just was not pulling Big Man. That's what I wanted, and then I was like, oh, I might as well play Tent Attack, and I played it somewhere where it would gain its special. But a few turns later, I realized that that's the spot where I have to put Big Man. And so I just abandoned the combo altogether and scrounged up whatever I could.
Yeah. And you had other parts like the Crack-On Splat Roller, Hero Shot.
Yes. Those are... the E-Leader is more for like piercing, but I wasn't able to do that. Unfortunately, I got blocked with that. The Crack-On is definitely for DJ Octavio, yeah. Because that combos very well against the wall. Other stuff is more like long cards to get in or that are easy to combo, like Steel Eel.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And cards like that, where they're easy to kind of special against or activate the special point against the wall, those cards like they really saved you there, being able to get that
Oh
many
yeah.
special points as you did. Um, and then being able to play like YouTuber special at the top, seeing a spot for that was really, really well done.
Yes, I did get pretty lucky there.
So I think that's going to be all of the matches I just kind of wanted to go through. Melantha, I'll turn it over to you for the final question.
Of course, Lucky. If you would be if you would be as so kind as to provide to us a delightfully fun fact about your Splatoon OC.
Why, of course. The one thing that I've like decided for sure about my Splatoon character, well, I guess there's two things. One is that they're a Rockenberg model, and if you look in my locker, there is the Rockenberg sticker on the inside door. And the second is that, based off the name Lucky, I like to imagine that she has a four-leaf clover in her mouth, like some people do with like a straw of wheat or a toothpick.
I love it. What a nerd. That's great. But yeah, congratulations, Lucky, on your first place. Absolutely well earned. It was a delight watching you play. That, like, I know it was discussed earlier, but yeah, that draw was like everybody was losing their mind. It was fantastic. It was so
Oh
exciting.
yeah, I saw the screenshot.
But yeah, congratulations on first place and best of luck in tournaments that are no longer the Baby Jelly Cup.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Alright.
And of course, not last, technically third, so not last, definitely not least. Pretty fantastic and phenomenal with some excellent, phenomenal plays. We have Gelfac.
Hey, I don't know.
Hello. So
Hello.
I'm just gonna start this right off. Losers bracket run. 4 games in a row, or 4 sets in a row, knocking out the top seed, Traylina. That alone in itself is really, really impressive, right? Especially
Yes.
in a 2-0 match as well.
Yes, I'm really happy with my run so far. Like especially with that and the win against Zay right after it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went against some really heavy hitting players and still managed to come out on top both times. Both times, just a 2-0 win against both Zay and Traylina. Obviously, you didn't go all the way, but you've actually like over the past like weeks and tournaments, you've done really well, and you've like definitely like cemented yourself as like a top BJC player right now, and you've done really well over the past few weeks.
Yes, I guess my second, third place in BJC. So maybe next time.
Yeah. Before Melantha asks their questions, I'm trying to remember back. Were you the player that ran 2 Snipe Riders on like your X Garden deck? Was that you?
Yes, it's me.
Okay. I'm astonished by that. Like that to me is like really, really impressive that you're running like both of them. And I want to ask like why? What makes Snipe Rider so good on those maps?
Yeah, I have no idea why exactly, but it won me a game because can if it clashes with Dynamo for a side, it wins pretty easily.
Yeah,
And it combos with Elite scope. So
it does, doesn't it? I'll have to look at that. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, I know you said you don't have an idea, but we're still going to kind of have to put you on the spot here. Melantha, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
It's time for you to tell us. You're gonna have to learn something. You're gonna learn something about your own OC too, buddy. Cause it's time for you to tell me a fun fact about your OC.
there's nothing really important about it. I don't know. I can say it was originally gear for Explorer, but I changed it for Paintbrush afterwards, and I don't know what else. There's really nothing about it.
What's your character's favorite sandwich?
Uh,
Asking the real hard-hitting questions here, I see.
Yeah, this is the real
Oh.
stuff.
I don't know. Something like burger, I guess. I don't know.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well-
Something new about your OC for us and you and everyone else. But yeah, congratulations on third place. Best of luck in future tournaments, and take care.
Thank you. You too.
With
Right.
Go ahead, Pina. Yeah.
That'll bring us to a close. That's all the interviews we have planned. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this Baby Jelly Cup, getting to see all the action, especially through the grand finals. We'll be back sometime in the future with more Tableturf tournaments, and we'll see you all next time. Farewell.
Ciao.